During that forum, CGTN News anchor Li Dongning spoke to Arkebe Oqubay, the special advisor to the Ethiopian Prime Minister. She started off by asking what China's economic presence means for Ethiopia and the continent as a whole.
First, we have to recognize that a nation that aims to have fast economic growth and to industrialize should build and should focus on infrastructure. So African countries need to make investment in infrastructure. Another element is you need to link the infrastructure development and industrialization. Right. In Ethiopia, the Addis Ababa Djibouti railway line has been built with about 70% loans from China, from Exim Bank of China. Now we are saying, and we are raising the issue, how do we increase economic activities on this railway corridor so that we build industrial hubs, which will help to improve also the repayment capacity of the loans as well. So linking the infrastructure development with the creation of economic hubs is also another dimension.
I noticed that 70% of the population in Africa is under the age of 24. So one of the priorities of the governments on the African continent is to create jobs. How can China help in this regard?
Yeah, first, the average median age in Africa is 19.5. So we have a very young population, and that's why observers say that Africa will benefit from demographic dividend. Here, China can play an important role in promoting investment, particularly in manufacturing sector. The urban areas are growing quite fast. In Ethiopia, they are growing about 5% every year. The population is also growing by about 2.3%, which means that every year we are having a new additional population of about 2 million in Ethiopia. So which means we have to focus on labor-intensive industries that will help us to create more jobs. But African countries should also focus on improving their infrastructure, improving their business environment, improving stability, so that Africa could be chosen as one of the destinations of FDI.
This is my first time to Africa, first time to Ethiopia indeed, and I saw after I arrived a lot of places are under construction. And I understand that Ethiopia also has 5-year plans in terms of economic growth and transformation. Does that mean opportunities for China?
Yeah, it means first in infrastructure, the latest studies show that the largest financier of infrastructure and contractors are Chinese. Ethiopia is aiming to become the leading manufacturing hub in Africa. So we want to focus on manufacturing sector. We have aimed there will be an annual growth of 25% annually, while GDP will be growing by 10%, by 11%. So Chinese investors do have an opportunity. Chinese developers will have an opportunity to expand parks, to make investment, and also in service areas they will have opportunity. But this is even more important for us to attract more Chinese investors, as well as investors from other countries.
What are African people's perspectives on Chinese investment and cooperation and help?
I believe the majority do look at in a positive way. As I indicated earlier, the investment coming to Ethiopia from China, the FDI inflow to Ethiopia is primarily in manufacturing sector. Close to 60% of the Chinese investment is in manufacturing, while on average in Africa it's below 25%. So it's the African countries who should be able to design their policies to attract where Chinese companies could make significant progress without creating much grudges and negative opinion by the local community.